In this video, we're going to take a look at activating the mics, cameras, and enabling those features for other attendees, in this case, participants or students. So for us right now, the only thing we have activated that you're seeing here is just the speakers. And since no one else is in the session right now, you can't necessarily hear anything. So let's take a look at activating the mic so that others can hear you when they do attend. So to do that, you'll click on the down arrow next to the microphone symbol, and you'll click on Connect My Audio. This allows you to connect it, and you can see here that I'm transmitting. As you'll notice, as I speak, it jumps. You'll see it next to my name too. So for instance, if you have other participants and as they're speaking, you're going to see that as well. So if it's a little hard to tell who's talking, that's going to give you the best indication of who is speaking, because that's going to pop up there and tell you who is actually speaking at that time. So let's now take a look at the webcams. And again, let me go back and just emphasize this as well, is that when you turn this on, you are transmitting all the time. So as soon as you do that, people will be able to hear you. If you need to mute it, you can either do it from this button here, or you can simply just click on the mic and just mute it. So that's obviously up to you and how you want to handle that, but just keep in mind others will be able to hear you. Now, if you want to enable the ability for others to speak when they come into the session, to do that, I'm going to reactivate mine. You will press the down arrow again, and this time you're going to look for that option. Now, you'll notice that you would think that option would be here, but it is not. It's actually under the audio options. So this time we're going to press on audio, and then this is going to give you another set. So you'll notice they're in a couple different places, so that might be confusing. I know I have to remind myself every time to do that. So when I go and look at audio, if I want to enable it for everyone, I'm going to go here instead. So really, this is your personal space over here with the microphone. The audio is for the session itself. So I'm going to press on microphone rights for participants. And what that will do is anyone who comes into the session can now activate their microphone. So that way everyone can have a conversation. And because of the way this works, it's more like being on a call. It's called full duplex, which means that everyone can speak, and it does a noise cancellation for everyone who's speaking. So that way, if you stop talking, it kind of mutes you, not really muting, it kind of turns you down, and then the other person can speak. But when you're ready to speak, it will bring yours back up, and so everyone will be able to hear you as well. So it's more of a natural give and take kind of conversation. If you want to turn this off, just press on it again, and it just toggles it off. Enabling single speaker mode is a little bit different. What that does is it's more like that walkie-talkie idea where I speak, I have to turn mine off to let the next person speak, and then they have to turn theirs off to let the next person speak. It's much better for a presentational mode rather than a discussion mode. This would be very difficult to manage. So I'd certainly recommend, if you're going to have open discussion, that you just enable the microphone rights. But again, that's something you'll have to figure out and how you want to work through that. So that is how you activate the microphones. Now let's take a look at the video. Very similar kind of thing, except it's a little bit different. So to activate my own, I can just start my webcam. And you'll notice here I'm in a slightly dark room, but you get the idea. So now I'm on my webcam. I've got my microphone here next to me. And so as you'll notice, you'll see how you can see me. Well, this is just a preview. So I'm going to just kind of highlight that there. That's just a preview. So right now, no one is actually seeing me. You're seeing me because you're looking at my view. But to actually begin to transmit, I must hit the Start Sharing button. And now I'm actually transmitting. So if I had others in this session, they would be able to see me too. To stop that sharing process, I can press on the X. That stops it. I can start it again and start the share. And you might wonder, well, why is there a pause button here? So let's say you have to sneeze or blow your nose. Obviously, you're not going to want to do that on camera. So what you can do is kind of look at the camera angle and make sure it's not something weird or you're not making a strange face. You can pause it. And now it just stays paused until I'm ready to activate it again. And that's just a nice way of, like I said, or if you have to jump up to go get something, sneeze, blow your nose, something unattractive, that's a good way of staying engaged but not actually stopping your webcam. especially if, just something you need to do. So that's another way to do it. So I'm going to actually stop this for now. But unlike the audio, the video is actually here for others. So here you do say enable webcam for other participants, and this will enable others to activate their webcam. So if you do that, then anybody who enters the session can also enable their webcam as well. And of course, you can take it away. You may notice that there's multiple camera options. Just like with audio, if you have multiple webcams, you can choose between the two. I know I've got 3. I don't use all 3 at once, but if I had a couple different views that I wanted to switch between, I could certainly use that camera to switch between those different things. So that's the basics of enabling the audio for participants, enabling the video for participants, turning those things on and off, and kind of managing some of those options. You can also do it on the individual level when you have others within this section. You can actually right-click on them and enable it for individuals. So that's another way to do that. And we'll take a look at that in another video. So you've now seen how to manage audio and video for participants as well as enabling your own.